Well, let's be clear about this. We're just a few short days away from one of the most important elections in the history of this country. And I really mean that. I'm asking you to take the opportunity to use your voice to tell these parties and the establishment they represent that they no longer represent the people of Dublin and Ireland. I feel that they've completely lost touch with the people they actually were elected to represent. And now is our chance to vote them out, to send a clear message that they have failed the people of this great city and great country. My journey in all this, by the way, didn't just start 6 weeks ago when I announced my candidacy. I guess you could say it started when I took the first call from a listener live on the radio. Since then, I've spoken to over 250,000 people on the radio.
Hi, Niall.
Hi, Niall.
Hi, Niall.
Hi, Niall.
How you doing, Niall?
I'm more qualified than any of these politicians to understand people's problems and what the general public really want. And I don't think there's a single politician in the country who could say they have spoken to close that number over the course of their careers. And that's why I want you to come out on June the 7th and vote for me, because I have listened, I understand, and I want to help the people that I've listened to for the last 30 years. I was born in this city, I was raised in this city, and I've experienced the highest of highs, Italia 90 and Paki Bonner's save against Romania, Ray Houghton's goal in the Giant Stadium, and the Dubs winning 5 in a row in Croke Park.
Senior football champions for 2023.
I remember all those street sellers on Moore Street, and of course, the beautiful windows in Switzer's on Christmas Eve, where as little kids we'd gaze in and see all the decorations and the reindeers and the Santa Claus. But now, sadly, I don't recognise Dublin anymore. Sure, Dublin has always had its fair share of problems, but it was still our Dublin. But I've also seen the lows, the recession of the 1980s, the crash of the Celtic Tiger, and what I regard as the gradual detachment of the people from the elite in government, who make decisions that no longer benefit the people they're actually paid to represent. For far too long, the establishment and the elite have held their reins of power, making decisions that benefit themselves while ignoring the real needs of people. These high-paid civil servants and NGOs do not represent us. The constant government and waste and overspend, the children's hospital scandal, the failures in housing, homelessness, and more recently, the strain on our services due to immigration, adding even more pressure to our already damaged housing crisis. This government are so disconnected that for the last 2 years in particular, they've been referring to people as right-wing, the far right, because people come up with logical solutions to reducing the amount of illegal migrants coming into this country. And that's why I proposed the Triple D plan: deterrent, detention, and deportation. But we have one chance to do something about it, just one. That change we need is within our grasp. If you can get out on June the 7th, we can elect new people to Europe and to our local councils. New people that truly care about this city and the future of this wonderful country. Not career politicians who've been in political parties their whole lives and rely on spin doctors and advisors, but people who want to deliver a better future for the people of this great city and country. So I'm asking you, actually no, I'm pleading with you, please go out and vote for me on June the 7th. If the response that I've had while I've been out canvassing on the campaign trail is translated into votes on the day, I'm confident that you will trust me and elect me to the European Parliament. Get out and vote, number 1, for me, Niall Boylan, and I promise I won't let you down. I'll be the real voice of Dublin and Ireland in Europe. It is our good evening. It's Niall Boylan with you for the next hour or so. Before we get to today's topic, I just wanted to let you know yesterday afternoon I spoke to Jackie Fox, and it was one of the saddest interviews that I've ever done. It's available on our website, by the way, if you go to niallboylan.com, where you'll see a few clips of it around. And I think it was important that I kind of shared a little bit of the interview with you, but I am warning you that if you're easily upset by, talking about suicide or anything like that, maybe the next 20 seconds, 2 minutes or so, wouldn't be advisable for you. But before we get to the topic, I just wanted to play a quick clip of the video, and just to let you know, Nicole Fox died in 2018 on the 20th of January. And her mum, Jackie Fox, has campaigned tirelessly ever since to bring in legislation to make sure no other teenager, or indeed anybody, dies in the way she did, which she was essentially bullied to death. She was bullied by a group of people, so much so, and it took such a toll on her life that she ended up taking her own life. And here's just a brief clip of the interview that went on for about 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes with Jackie yesterday. And I'll just play this. That must have been like an out-of-body experience for you to walk in and see your daughter in that situation.
I didn't even scream or shout. It was like, Niall, I never heard that noise in my life, and I don't want to hear it again. It's like a hell from the bottom of your stomach. And I ran over and I put my arms around Cole's legs to try and lift her up to get the weight. Yeah. And Nicole's 14-year-old brother ran halfway up the stairs to unhook the dog's lead. But Cole was still alive. She still had a heartbeat. She was still warm. And when we took her down, we were doing CPR, and I was just begging her not to leave.
Yeah.
Begging her to stay with me. On the way to the hospital, in the back of the ambulance, which I didn't know anything about because myself and Lee were in the police car behind. And in the back of the ambulance, Nicole took a massive heart attack, and she died. But the ambulance crew got her heartbeat back again and rushed her to the hospital. And these people got their wish because Cole ended up on life support.
That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. And I know before she died, when I said the 20th, of course, that was the day that she was pronounced dead. On that day, you were in the hospital with her, and you got in and lay in the bed beside her. What did you say to her? Because was she conscious at that stage? Did she come back around?
She never regained conscious. She was when we got to the hospital after tests and stuff. The doctor said that she had extensive brain damage and that her organs were going to start to shut down. Yeah. I heard every word the doctor said, but I couldn't comprehend the fact that what he was trying to say was, she's not coming home.
Yeah.
On the early hours of Saturday morning, I still, even the 18th and 19th, I was still convinced like she was going to come home, like, because I washed her hair in the bed and put lip gloss on her, and I painted her nails because my family and our friends were coming up to see her. And I was saying, Cole, when you come home, you're going to say, thanks, Mum, I'm scarlet, like, with my hair and stuff. And I was so convinced she was coming home with me. But then on the early hours of Saturday morning, the nurse who was minding Cole with me, Cole's heartbeat and blood pressure start going erratic, and the nurse that was minding Cole with me, she put her hand on my shoulder, and she just said really quietly, it's time. And I knew she wasn't coming home. And I did. I got up, I lay on the bed beside her, and I hugged her and I kissed her, and I was rubbing her cheek and rubbing her hair, and all I got to say to her was, I said to her, just let go, baby. And I said, no one is ever going to hurt you again. I said, no one is ever going to touch you again. And the last words I ever got to say to Cole was, I love you, Cocoa Puffs. And then she died.
That was a heartbreaking interview, and she goes on obviously to talk about the campaign and the bullying that happened before all of that as well. But we just thought we'd pick that moment when she said goodbye to her daughter, and nobody should ever have to say goodbye to their child because they've been bullied to death. And thankfully, because of that, there's new legislation called Coco's Law. We talk in depth about the legislation as well. That basically makes it illegal to harass any teenager, or indeed anybody online, or to bully anybody online to that point. If you want to see that interview, by the way, it's available on our website, niallboylan.com. You can listen to it in all the usual places, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere else if you want to just listen to it. And so please do go to the website. And please, by the way, once again, can I ask you to support us on the website as well and sign up for a subscription on the website so we can continue to bring you some great interviews, interesting interviews, heartbreaking interviews like that one, and many other things as well. And later on today, I'll be talking to Michael Walsh, by the way, political commentator, about the American elections, which a lot of people find very interesting at the moment. Of course, one of the primaries is on today, and Donald Trump looks like he's a shoe-in for presidency. But maybe Michael Walsh, political commentator, doesn't think so. And we'll talk to Michael a bit later on. But first, on a lighter note. Well, maybe it's not a lighter note. I think it'll get people quite angry, actually. Yeah, so there's me. Do you like me Trumpinator? In case you hadn't seen him already. He's going to stay there until the end of the elections. That's the Trumpinator. Okay, so he's our mascot. Hey, Niall. This email says, just wanted to say I'm a big fan of your podcast. Thanks. That's always a good start to an email, isn't it? Thanks for talking about stuff others won't. I'm writing about a problem at my house. This month's been tough. Bills are more than what we're making. Kids are back in school. The weather is crap. And I told my husband the other night that I wish I could afford to go on a summer holiday this year. Last year was a no-go with the 3 kids, 3, 7 and 12. The costs are too high, especially finding a family room for 5. Mortgage and living expenses, even with both of us working, make it impossible. Anyhow, yesterday my husband comes home all excited saying, your dreams came true. I was happy at first, but then he shows me the price breakdown for only 2 people. He casually mentions he talked to his sister and his mother, and they look after the kids for the 2 weeks. I lost it, asking how selfish is he to want to go without the kids. He says it's too expensive for all 5 of us, and drops in, if you won't go without them, we can't afford to go, and we're not going at all. We argued big time. And he brings up the last trip to France, calling it a nightmare and how we needed a holiday after it. I assume they brought the kids to that one. Why go through that again, he said. I said, if the kids aren't in the budget, we're not going. Now he's sulking like a baby. I'm shocked because I know he loves the kids, but this feels so selfish. We've talked a lot and the house feels so tense. Or I'm assuming they haven't talked a lot. That's probably the wrong thing she said there. Anyway, I called his mum and she confirmed he talked to her about watching the kids for June. She thinks it's right for us to get away. Like mother, like son, I suppose. She just seems as selfish. I called my sister and she thinks I'm crazy for passing up the 2 weeks without the kids. Now I'm doubting myself. I get the kids can be a handful on holidays. She keeps saying vacations, but she's obviously American. And it makes it more expensive. But am I being unreasonable? Well, is she being unreasonable? Journalist and social commentator Minnie Mooney joins me, as well as many other people today. If you want to text us, you can. The number is 085 122 55. That's 085 122 55. Minnie, hi.
Hi, Niall. Thanks for having me on again.
Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, all those things that we didn't get to say.
Year, all those things.
So, Minnie, I mean, this is a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Because as much as you love to bring the kids, it is expensive and they can be a bit of a handful.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's difficult for me to say. I mean, I'm 23. I don't have kids.
Okay.
But like, I don't have kids, but I know that if my boyfriend came home and he said, hey, I've booked this 2 weeks of a holiday, like my immediate instinct would not be to call him selfish. I think that was brilliant. But like, I can see why someone wouldn't want to be away from their kids for 2 weeks. But I don't think it's selfish of the husband, and I don't think it's selfish of the mother to have organised that.
Yeah.
If that's something that this woman has said to her husband that she wishes they could do.
Yeah. But I think she was thinking the whole family, obviously. She wasn't thinking without the kids. And I know this is more of a female... I hate being sexist on this show, but I know this is more of a female... but I'm going to do it anyway. It's more of a female thing than a male thing, that women probably don't want to go without the kids more so than men. Men are like married bachelors, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, well, the whole... Go on.
No, so I was just saying from that point of view... I'm predicting that female callers today will say it's a bad thing and that male callers will say go for it.
Yeah, well, the whole thing to me just seems to stink of bad communication. I mean, even in the letter it says, if, I don't know, the husband or the wife said, if the kids aren't going, then we're not going. And the other one has said, well, we can't afford it, so if the kids are coming, then we're not going. And so it just seems to be like, I feel bad for men a lot of the time because I think sometimes they think in their head, oh, this will be lovely, she'll love this is the right thing to do. And the wife or the girlfriend or whatever has a completely different reaction. And it's absolutely not the right thing to do. And they're left there going, oh my God, I thought...
Yeah, they had the best intentions. Yeah.
They absolutely did.
Yeah. But I suppose the other thing too is when you when you want to book kids on a holiday, particularly if you're going to the Canaries or whatever it is, firstly, getting a family room. I know this because I have 3 kids myself, right? So many, many years ago, getting a family room for, 2 adults and 3 children is a nightmare. You need 2 rooms. And if they're all young kids, you can't do that. So they have to be adjoining rooms, right? Which can be difficult to get and expensive to get because most holidays include, a package for a family of 2 adults and 2 children. So they don't include for the third one. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing in Europe. They just average out at 2 families. So it can be expensive. The other thing as well is, if you're going away for a 2-week break, you can't go out at night when you've got kids with you because you got to be there. They've got to be in bed and all this. So it's not really a holiday, is it? Yeah, as such, it can be sometimes it can be a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember going on like family holidays when I was a kid, and like my mom's favorite part of the holiday was basically when we all went to bed. She could stay awake with her friends, and they could have the bottle of wine or whatever.
Yeah.
And I know like my parents aren't together, but I knew lots of married couples who, when they were when their kids were young, the kids would go and stay with the granny or the auntie or whatever, and the parents were delighted to get away from them for a while. So I can see why the husband would think it's a good idea. And I think, again, it comes down to communication. If you have a problem with it, then don't just say, oh, you're selfish, and if you can't bring the kids, we're not going. Then, you can say in a nice way, okay, why don't we shorten it? Why don't we go on a weekend away instead, just the 2 of us? Or a week away, but not 2 weeks.
So a week away with the kids and a week away without the kids, maybe. Or some sort of compromise.
Yeah, some sort of compromise. And this is what I mean by it just seems to me to be bad communication. I don't have kids, so I don't know, but I just think the reaction to have a big fight and call him selfish and his mother selfish is not
yeah, like mother, like son.
Really helpful.
Yeah, mother, like son.
That was a bit much, because I don't think that's anybody's intention, is to be selfish.
Yeah, well, Irish mothers, they'll defend their sons down to the ground. It doesn't matter what they've done wrong,
Oh, that's not just Irish mothers now.
Is it not?
Unfortunately.
No. But they just tend to, you can tell them their son is a murderer and they'll say, oh, the person probably deserved it. They'll defend their sons down to the ground. So, okay, so we're saying a compromise, it's bad communication, but you don't think it's selfish.
No, I don't think it's intended to be selfish. No, I think it was a nice gesture that just didn't go down the way he expected. But yeah, there could be a compromise found between the 2 of them if they communicate. If they're not talking, then that's not the answer. That's never the answer.
All right, well, listen, thank you very much indeed. There you go, Minnie Mooney, social columnist and also journalist. Let me go to Morris. Morris, hi, how are you?
Niall, how are you doing? Out earning the crust for me summer holidays. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, yeah. Well, yeah, you're working hard, Morris, yeah.
I'm doing a bit, yeah. I'm getting stuck in. I always look forward to the summer holidays if I can get away, but I just think to Dad, he was a bit dubious going with his mother and sister first before he checked it out with the wife. So he was trying to trap her into going.
No, I think he was trying to surprise her. Hold on, you're throwing a bad spin on it here. I don't think he was trying to trap her. I think he was trying to surprise her.
No, I just think it was like, well, I have the people to mind the kids. What are you moaning about and getting you away? And she doesn't want to be the kids. Like, if you didn't want to have kids, you shouldn't have got married. Kids are all about making memories now. And why couldn't they do a staycation? There's beautiful caravan parks all over this country. Central Park in Longford. You don't have to be going away to the Sunset and Sam.
I can tell you to go to any of these staycation parks, that are closer to home is equally as expensive as heading off to the Canaries for 2 weeks. Equally. Ireland is an expensive place to stay on holidays.
It's halfway around the world. Yeah. The kids could have memories here. To be honest with you, you know what she should do? She should call these bluffs and say, I'll tell you what, you go away for 2 weeks on your own. We'll make memories with the kids. Off you go. Have a think about what you want there with this marriage.
Oh, right, okay.
I really do.
Right, okay. So you do think he's being selfish, obviously?
Very much so, yeah. He's trying to live a single man's life in a marriage. And why did you have kids if you don't want to spend time with them?
And is it not okay to go away with your missus for a couple of, just for a week even, or a few days without your kids and leave your kids at home? Is that
good? You shouldn't be leaving your kids with somebody for 2 weeks. It's too long.
Right, okay.
The age is 12, 7 and 3,
All right.
I'd say to her, call his bluff. Let him go away on his own and say, when you're away on your own, see what you want there with life. Do you want me and the kids, or do you want to live your single life on your own?
And bring us back a stick of rock.
and a bag of fizz.
All right, Morris, listen, you keep up with your busy day there. Let me go to Dave. Dave, hi, how are you?
What's the crack?
What's the crack? Dave, okay, you've got 2 kids. Yeah. You're heading away on holidays. Now, I don't know. Would you want a holiday on your own without the kids, to get a bit of a break?
To be honest, to be honest with you, I agree with Morris. I mean, what kind of psychopath wants to go to the Canaries for 2 weeks with their missus when they can sit in a caravan in Longford in the rain with their kids for 2 weeks? I mean, yeah. Wow.
Do you know what? Can I just say, we were talking about this going back a while ago, myself and Karen, about not going away in a caravan because we're just talking about old holidays that we went on as kids. And my idea...
You're way too posh to stay in a caravan.
Oh, look, you're 100% right. My idea of hell is a caravan.
Most mobile homes I've been in have net curtains. You wouldn't be able to last the night one of them.
I remember when we were kids, my father would bring us to Rush or Portrane or Skerries, which seemed like miles away at the time. I'd say 10 minutes up the road, right, from where I'm living. But it seems like where I was living.
Then it was a bit of a spin, though.
Oh, yeah, it seemed like you were going off out to the countryside because there was no motorways in those days, right? But here's the thing, we'd stay in a caravan for like 2 weeks on a caravan park. And like there's 5 years in this caravan, which is like, I don't know, 16 foot by 5 foot, you know what I mean? And it was just, it's my idea of hell.
Listen, I spent 2 nights in a boiling hot room in the Travelodge with both of my kids for 2 nights in Waterford last summer. And coming home, I didn't want to be a parent anymore. I mean, dead honest with you. You know, and then you couldn't open the windows full because they had these stupid fucking safety yokes on them. So they gave us fans that, do you know what? They were just shite. And like 2 days in a room with a toddler.
Well, look, let's be clear. The Travelodge is hardly 5-star. You know what I mean?
I know, but listen, I wasn't even half.
You get what you pay for, Dave. You get what you pay for.
Man, come here to me. Listen, for what I paid, we should have got more, right?
Yeah.
Like, I remember going down I couldn't wait to leave, and then when we were leaving, I was bringing all the stuff down, putting them into the car, came back up, walked into the room. The bang that hit me when I went in, I actually left 30 quid on the nightstand for whatever poor fucker had to go in and clean up after us. Like, the room was clean, but again, toddler, humidity, 2 days.
Nappies.
No. Nappies, yogurt, fucking smell of it. We actually got McDonald's on the last night in the hopes that the McDonald's would make the room smell like McDonald's because it was horrible.
Right, getting back to this guy. Did he do the wrong thing? Is she right? Is he being selfish wanting to go to the Canaries for 2 weeks without the kids?
Not a hope in hell. I'm fair fucking play to him. To be honest, now I will say 2 weeks I think is a bit excessive because like he probably only gets 2 weeks holidays like the rest of us in the summertime. So I think that might be a bit much. But I don't think there's one thing like selfish. I mean, I missed the start. Like, he sorted the babysitters and everything.
Yeah, he got his mother. He already organised his mother and his sister to look after the kids for 2 weeks.
So he organised the babysitters.
He's boxed it all off. Yeah, he's boxed it off. It's all boxed off. But she's not going.
All she has to do is pack her bags to look pretty.
Yeah.
I tell you, he's a keeper. Well, look, I tell you what, if she's sick of him, I'll marry him if he wants to take me out to the Canaries for 2 weeks. Lad, I'm not joking. If I'd have come home to Michelle and said, right, pet, I have the babysitter sorted, we're going off to the Canaries for 2 weeks, just me and you, my eardrums probably would have burst from the squeal that she let out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? No, I said no, like squeal of happiness, I mean. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not one thing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get away from. No, actually.
But there is an argument. Why would you? Okay, yeah, but there's an argument of why would you have kids if you want to get away from them?
Oh, ask me whole, will you? Jesus Christ Almighty! Do you know the only people who say that, right, are the kind of people that when they have kids, their entire life revolves around their children. And I tell you what happens to them then: the kids grow up and move out of the house. The husband and wife find they have absolutely no identity of their own. And they have nothing in common with each other anymore. Like, yeah, have kids. You love your kids. But some of my happiest memories were when my mum and dad pissed off for a couple of nights down the country and I was left with my brothers and stuff. You know, you need to give your kids a little bit of independence as well.
I mean, you've got 2 young kids. Will you get away on your own without the kids for a weekend even?
Oh, God, I'd love that.
I mean, do you have anyone that'll mind them?
I do. No, I'm very lucky that there's people
send them to me. I'll look after them for the weekend for you, Dave.
No, because they'll come back with this air of pretension about them. I won't be able to get rid
with
of.
little Donald Trump T-shirts on them.
They should come back and make America great again. That's
Make Tipperary great again.
No, but like I have a social life. Like I don't go out on the piss as much as I used to anymore because just hangovers and toddlers are just not a great combination, but I still have a social life. I do get out. I go to I do designated driver. We go into Limerick every now and again. I go to a gig. I'll go out for a dinner with friends and stuff.
So
Like,
who relatives looks after the kids? Is it?
There's a friend of mine. There's two friends of mine. They're basically like second mammies. My older brother is there.
Right. Great. That's
Do you
good.
know what I mean? My 13-year-old is there. If I'm like, hey, I'm ducking out there for a while, little fella's in bed, I'll be back in an hour or two. I'm only up the road. You know what I mean? I'm not going drinking around like that. I'm getting out so I can get a bit of peace, because when you're with your kids 24/7, you become narky, you become stressed out, you become tired, and then, like, it's not a good, environment for them to be around. I feel like I have a relative who's going to take little fella for me for a weekend, sometime, she said, and I'm going to go book myself into a hotel and close the door and maybe not come out of the room for 2 days, because it'll be nice to be somewhere where you're not responsible for everything that goes on all the time. And
Okay, well, do me a favour, Dave. Stay there just for a second, because I have to take a quick break, right? But I want to come to Steve, Eddie and Sandy as well.
The multi-award-winning Niall Boylan podcast. Live every day. And available for download from all your usual platforms.
All right, let me just go. Stay there, Dave. Let me go to Steve. Steve, hi, how are you?
Well, I have a bit of an offer for Dave. So, I'm going away on holidays. Now, me and the mother of my child are going away on holidays in August. And we're going over to Las Vegas, but we're going for 4 weeks. Now, her mother is taking care of the kid. So
4 weeks? 4 weeks?
4 weeks, yeah. I mean, the reason why it's 4 weeks is because now it's more of a lad's holiday, because I'm going to be doing helicopter rides, the Grand Canyon. I'm going to a shooting range. I'm going to drive a mini tank, the world's largest zip line, off-road experiences.
Must be good money in delivering takeaways at night, tax-free, can I just point out?
There's very good money in it, Niall. Very good money in it. But here's the thing. It's a real lad's holiday. So, Dave, you sound like you're a little bit pissed off. I can say to her, listen, you watch my child and you watch Dave's kids as well.
And you two go together.
Yeah, we'll piss off over to Las Vegas and have a great crack.
I mean, you had me at shooting guns. I'm not going to lie, like,
Yeah. Lads, hold on for a second. I'm talking to two fathers here. I thought fathers doted over their kids. You want to go away for a month. Dave doesn't seem to have a time limit on it at all. I mean, realistically, why would you have children if you just keep wanting to go away without them?
Okay.
Oh, would you ever? Stop.
Yeah, stick that opinion up your arse.
I'm not trying to sound like a dickhead here, right? What age is your youngest now?
22.
Kiss my arse. If you were at home
you don't have a say in this.
with a psychotic little toddler 24/7 on your own, trust me, my friend.
I had 3 psychotic little toddlers at one stage, and they all went away. But look, when they get to 12 or 13, you could think about having an old holiday on your own and all that kind of thing. But I'm talking about when they're young. Bring them with you.
Niall, hold on a second.
Listen, I'm going to be going on holidays this summer, and my kids are going to be going with me. And I went away last summer, and I took the kids with me. What I'm saying is, there is nothing in the world wrong with wanting a bit of time for yourself and your partner. You can't be all
I'm going to give you an example of a holiday. So when was it? It was last year, but it was just before Christmas. Myself and herself decided we go over to Forteventura. Now, it was all closed down because it was like winter time, but we went over with the kid. And they have like a version of pennies over there. It's not exactly pennies, but it's like El Pennies or something. I don't know what they call it.
El Pennies. El Pennies. Yeah, go on.
But when we went in there, I was holding him by the hand, and we're walking around. And this old woman came over, now, like really old woman. She came over and said, "Oh, isn't he lovely, blah, 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 blah." And when she went to pat him on the head, may God strike me dead, this is a true story, he lashed out and boxed her in the Mary, like square in the Mary. And I was like, what the hell? And this is true, I swear to God. I was like, what did you do? No, blah, blah. And I took him away. And I said to him, now, you're going to have to go over, and say sorry. You're not allowed to do that. Walked him back over. I swear to God, I'm honest to God, he done it again. It looked like I brought the child over to hit her. Now, this is a holiday. This is supposed to be a bloody holiday.
Well, hang on. Stay there, both of you, for a second. Eddie, I'm so sorry for keeping you. Hang on. Let me just go to Sandy quickly. She's been waiting longer. Sandy, hi. How are you?
You're all right. Hi, Niall. How's it going?
Good.
Grant. I don't have younger kids. My young lad is 30, but the father of the kids, he was trying, you know, he booked the holiday out of the goodness of his heart. Like, there's nothing stopping her going away for 2 weeks. It's not to say that she's going to be a bad mother. She's not. She needs to break away. Like, don't think of it as 2 weeks. Think of it as 14 days. There's the internet out there. You can keep in contact with your kid through Skype or WhatsApp or whatever, and let them know how you are and all this kind of thing. Just get up and go, and she will feel.
But
like
surely the kids would love a holiday too, wouldn't they? Kids love holidays.
I know, I understand that, but let them. Let her think of it as another honeymoon for the two of them for 2 weeks. I'm not saying that, that they're...
I don't see anything wrong with that if you're going away at another time with the young kids, right? But they're not. They haven't been on holidays in nearly 3 years.
I know that, but let them...
How old are the kids?
Hold on. The kids are 3, 7 and 12.
They won't even remember it.
They won't even remember by the time they get to 18. No, but let them have their own quality time first. And then maybe they'll book another holiday then for another week and say, right, this time we'll bring the kids. But this will be our own little honeymoon for 14 days.
Well, hang on. Steve, Dave and Sandy, you three selfish people. Just wait there for a second. Let me go to Eddie. Eddie, hi, how are you?
How's it going, Niall? Yeah. I might have been listening there. It's all very well, like, saying that, it's great to get away from the kids and all that. But, what's the harm in going on a little weekend away with your partner? That's enough time to get romantic and catch up and have plenty of conversations. Personally, I never left my kids. We were bringing our kids. We had 2 boys. We always brought our kids away from the time they were 3 months, and they were never any hassle. Yeah. And I couldn't have even thought about leaving my children for 2 weeks and going abroad.
Well, Steve and Dave we're happy to do it.
Everybody has different circumstances. Everybody has different circumstances. I don't know what the budgetary constraints can limit where you go as well and what you can do. Like, I was lucky enough to be able to afford to bring my kids away to kids clubs, so they'd be gone for a couple of hours during the day, so you could, you could sunbathe, you could go drink and have lunch, whatever you wanted to do. Anyway, you weren't constantly throwing them in and out of the pool.
Yeah. But what about at night?
I used to work 5-6 days a week, so I barely seen my children when they were growing up. And the only I used to relish going away with them for 2 weeks.
Eddie, let us ask you a question there. So let's say some magical guy came along and he said, Eddie, here's tickets for you and your wife to go on a holiday, all expenses paid. The kids are going to be taken care of by somebody else, a professional or a family member or something like that. Would you go?
Probably not. Not without my kids, because I could have had that choice before. I went away on plenty of weekends. I went to Venice. We went to, European capitals. We've done all that, but it was all for the weekends. There's options there. What
are you going to miss? What are you going to miss?
Your kids.
You can Skype, Zoom. Skype doesn't exist anymore. Zoom.
Not back in the mid-90s. Not back in the mid.
So your kids are all grown up. You don't have young kids now.
No.
No.
But when they were younger,
yeah. So you and Niall are both in the same team. You don't have a say in this. Your kids are all
speaking
grown
from
up.
experience. Yeah. Well, now I don't know. There are those options, all right. But.
Now they'd be bringing him on holidays. But here, what do you think we don't have a say, me and Eddie, just because our kids are older? The bottom line is we did have kids, young kids at one stage, Steve, so shut up.
Different times, Niall.
It wasn't different times. You think I was 90 or something like that, for God's sake?
What are you saying?
The way you go on.
No, I went on many holidays and my kids came with me all the time when they were young. Now, don't get me wrong, as they get older, there's an option there for parents to go away, and have a holiday on their own. I understand that. But when your kids are like 4 and 5 years of age, what are you going to do? You're going to leave them for 2 weeks?
Niall, come here. Do you know that old trope, kids come first? That kids come first thing, that's bollocks, and I tell you why. Because What happens there is that there's a breakdown in relationships, because you know as well as I do, there's a lot of women out there who always put the kids first. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. No, it's not. It's about the couple as well. They have to sometimes put themselves first, prioritise themselves before the kids. If it's for a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, out of a year, who cares less? Put yourself before the kids every now and again. You deserve a treat, because kids are selfish assholes.
Eddie, you put your kids first, didn't you?
I did to a certain extent, but as I said, like, I could afford to stay in good hotels where there was kids clubs and the facilities were there and all. I mean, I think that couple is probably strapped for a few quid. A lot of people are these days.
Well, that was the gist of the email. She said they couldn't afford to bring all 5, so he went out and booked just for the 2 of them, and now she's disgusted. She'd rather not go at all.
I can understand her sentiment. He was probably trying to do good anyway.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, there used to be the option.
Like
one of the best holidays. I remember coming home from 2 weeks one time in the Canaries with my kids, and we came back to a heat wave here, and we booked a little B&B. I know we got a house cheap for the weekend down in Clare. Right, so we'd come back on the Thursday. We said, should we make a weekend over? So we got a house down in Clare, and then the woman let us stay for the week later, free. And my boys, even after the 2 weeks in Lanzarote, they thought that the weekend in Clare, or the week in Clare, was the best holiday they ever had. Right. We fished on the beach, we done the caves, everything. But like that option of a cheap holiday in Ireland is vast disappearing.
No, it's gone. Yeah, it's cheap. No, it is. There's no doubt. I know Discover Ireland won't be too pleased with me, but it is much better value to go away, to leave the country.
Oh, yeah, and you're guaranteed the weather when you go foreign.
Absolutely. Go to the Canaries. You know it's going to be sunny.
Jesus, I was looking at that Central Parks. I was going to go to Central Parks with the young fella for a week. And my Christ almighty, for me, her and him for a week, how much do you think it was?
No idea.
2.5.
Somebody said it there.
2,500
€2,500.
2.5.
Yeah, well, I don't know the price in Central Parks, but I'm assuming there's different options. But yeah, it does sound about right. Yeah.
Now, even the cheaper option is disgustingly priced, and it's in Longford. Who the fuck wants to go and spend a week in Longford?
Well, you're not actually spending a week in Longford. You're spending it in Central Parks. And by the way, I want to be fair. Central Parks is a very popular place, and people do go to it and enjoy it.
Sorry, I retract my statement. Who the fuck wants to go spend a week in Central Park in Longford?
Niall's looking to get advertisement from Central Park.
Well, I mean, I know there's a few Central Parks around Europe, isn't there? There's other ones around Europe too, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, in other countries where they get good weather.
Fancy.
Yeah,
they have the big fancy domes over them, so it's supposed to be hot there all the time. But still, you have rain pissing down on the dome in this place.
Yeah,
who wants to see that?
Eddie, would you bring the kids to Central Parks?
No, if I've been there, and friends of a group of us have gone down on the
Did you enjoy it?
For the whole
was
weekend.
It good? Yeah. Was it good?
We had a great time. We had a great time.
That's having a great time, sitting at a bar drinking.
The swimming pool is warm inside. I have to say, you have it at a constant temperature. But you're right, if it's lashing outside,
most swimming pools are at a constant temperature. I don't think there's anything unique about having a swimming pool indoors at a constant temperature. That's kind of normal, isn't it? I don't think that's unique to Central Parks. But okay, we'll stay there for a second. Let me just go to John. John, hi, how are you?
Afternoon, how are you, sir?
Yeah, welcome along to the Selfish Parent Show.
Well, the guy at the centre of this topic, basically he was being spontaneous, right, which a lot of women accuse their men of not being spontaneous, right? And then when a guy like him becomes spontaneous and does something like this, when she finds out, she goes ballistic. But I'm sorry, love, the reason you wasn't told, it was because it was a surprise.
Yeah,
that's why it's all about.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. Major surprise. Because he didn't book the kids. I mean, he mentioned it's bad communication. I'm not going to disagree with that. Probably was bad communication. But in saying that, John, you don't have kids and then, well, some people would say you don't have kids and then abandon them just because you want to go away on holidays. You're either family or you're not.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I see nothing wrong. I see nothing wrong from time to time, even when the kids are young. If once there's responsible adults in the family on both sides, or her side, his side, looking after the kids and going away for a weekend at least, you came together as a couple.
2 weeks. It's not a weekend. A weekend would be fine.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Well, even the 2 weeks. It's not like they're going to do 2 weeks every single year. This is probably a one-off, right? But the fact is, you came together as a couple, like just the two people met without any kids, and they fell in love and they made love, and then the kids came, the whole lot, right? But I mean, you're more than your kids. Like, you need to walk the beach hand in hand. You need to make love, like, and with candles. You need the music.
There's a lot of making love going on, isn't there? Dave and Steve are going away to Vegas together. They can make love while they're over there.
But the thing is, you need to never lose like the couple within the unit, right? That you once were. Like, there's a friend of mine. He became conscious as the kids got a bit older that the walls in the house were kind of thin, and it affected the love making, right?
Right.
And he said to me, "Christ," he said, the sex, John. He said, "It's gone down the toilet, yeah, because I'm conscious. The kids are listening, and like she's a bit of a screamer, like." And I said, "Well, Jesus, look, did you ever think about going downtown? Go downtown today, downstairs." And I said, "Look, get the pillows and the couch, light the candles down the sitting room, lock the door." He says, "I don't know, but she'd be up for that." He said, "No." Well, I said, "Try it." He did. And he came back to me about 2 weeks after. He said, "John," he said, "I'm having the best sex ever." Because I tell you, they made time for themselves, you see, the couple.
Yeah. I think that's really important that couples make time for themselves. I'm not saying it isn't important. Of course it's important, because you have to keep your love life going, you know what I mean? It's important.
You do, yeah, you do. You should never lose that, because, and I throw myself under the bus here. I was 10 years in a relationship, and between an aged parent on my side and a young child on the other side, we never in that 10 years, me and her, had a weekend away, not a mind, a week away on our own. And I regret it to this day.
Yeah, that's not good either. There's a balance to be struck. But in saying that, Steve, listen to Steve. I'm not going to say Dave, because I know Dave loves his kids immensely. But certainly with Steve.
I know you don't.
No, I'm not saying.
What was that?
No,
you ignorant asshole.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Did you say eventually?
No, immensely.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said eventually. I was going to say the fuck off.
But Steve is going away for a month, John, without the kid. You know what I mean? A month.
And?
With the mother of the child. Because obviously can't find a boyfriend.
Well, look, I mean, if there's a responsible adult, I mean, obviously, I presume Steve has been called a lot of things on the show, but I presume he has made provision with somebody responsible.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, look, again, that's a one-off going away. I mean, how many times are you going to go to Vegas in your lifetime? You know.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's it. Here's the thing: I am with my child. I work in the evening times, so I'm with my child throughout the day. So he's with me now. So like, I spend most of my time with the child, morning, noon, and night. And you go insane around kids, because when you're constantly talking to kids and you don't have adult conversation, it drives you bleeding nuts.
Mm-hmm. You've only got one child. You think you had a creche full of them.
No, it's one child is still my child. Now picture this: everybody out there, picture Steve's child. My child is nuts. There's something, honest to God, I swear to God. Here's another crazy story for you. This is God's honest truth. So we're trying to potty train him, and I got up out of bed. It was about 2 weeks ago, and I walked into the hallway, and there was shite smeared all over the wall. I'm like, what in the name of crap is going on here? And there was a trail leading to the bathroom. I was like, what? And in the bathroom, there's a pole on the floor, special one for him, and it's covered in share mite. I'm going, oh my God, he made an attempt in the middle of the night. Now, here's the thing. I went into the bedroom. His hair was spiked up with crap. I'm telling you no word of a lie. His hair was spiked up with crap. He was covered in shite. I need a break from that.
Dave, you've been there, yeah?
I'm there. I'm in the midst of it right now. It'll go to show how long it's been since you've been around a toddler now, because toddlers are fucking hardcore.
Hold on for a second here. I've been through all of that. What Steve described there a minute ago, I remember walking into the room one morning and it looked like, I don't know what it looked like, to be honest with you, but the shit was coming out of the collar of his baby girl, right? It was that bad. Another morning I came in and one of my sons had a nosebleed in the middle of the night, and I swear to God, it looked like there'd been a massacre in the cot. There was blood everywhere. I mean, I've been there, and I've been on the holidays where you're sitting there and they're like time bombs waiting to go off.
But here's the thing though, right? And I was in a similar position before he was born, okay? For you, it's memories, because when he came along, I was like, the other fella's 12. I've done this before. No. you might remember what it's like, but you don't actually remember sitting there thinking, am I actually losing my mind? While, you know, like, oh, look, my house is clean. Now you turn around and you're like, how did he get a steak knife that's in the drawer that's closed and locked solid? You can't take your eyes off him. My young fella, right, he's been in the hospital 5 times for observation because he just seems to like smashing his head off of stuff. You know, like, I am actually on a first name basis with the medical social worker in Clonmel Hospital. I can walk into A&E with him at any time and say,
all right, Dave.
It's okay, lads, we're just here for the usual.
Yeah, sorry, John, go ahead before I go into the break. What do you want to say? Quick.
Yeah, I know a couple there. They went down to West Cork on a holiday. They stayed in a large guest house, right? And the husband was down the first thing in the morning, like, and the proprietor came over to him and he said, good morning, the whole lot. He said, do you mind? He said, if I ask you a question, he said, no, what? He said, is your wife a very religious person? He said, not really. Why would you ask me that? No, he said, I could hear her during the night there. He said, shouting there, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God.
All right, got to go to a quick break. Going to come to Angela after the break.
The multi-award-winning Niall Boylan Podcast. Live every day. And available for download from all your usual platforms.
Right, thank you for that, John. Let me just go to Angela. Angela, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm quite surprised, by the way, that, you know, that it's like the gruesome twosome there, Steve and Dave. They're like a tag team. You know,
I feel dirty that I agree with Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel wrong myself.
I'm not even going to go there. Hi, Dave.
Did you notice that? Did you notice the sly dig there? Steve and Dave. Hi, Dave.
2, 3, or 4?
Yeah. Hi, Dave. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, before we go into this topic, can I just say, just because I don't have kids does not mean I don't have an opinion on this.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm waiting for that.
I'd never say that, Angela. I'd never say that.
I would.
Yeah. So anyway, my parents are married 54 years in March, right? And I can tell you that up until the age when we were growing up, there was a family holiday every year. Every single year, right?
Yeah. If you can afford it, I suppose that's a good thing, yeah.
Yes, bar one.
Yeah.
We were very lucky with my dad's job.
Yeah.
There was one year when my dad was in a horrific bicycle accident in a race. And to this day, I still flag about us not getting our family holiday that year, right? Because it happened in June. He basically broke every bone in his face. And because we didn't get the family holiday, they went to New York for a week, right?
Yeah.
Because we were in school. I think she's right. A weekend away, grand. 2 weeks is a very long time to leave your kids. I think it's a very long time. You know, if
but if you're leaving them with somebody trusted, what's the problem? What's the big problem?
I don't know. No. I'm not even talking about, geez, you know, they're leaving them with, you know, a complete stranger.
Yeah.
You know, interviewing a childminder to come in for 2 weeks that they've never met. I'm just saying, it's a long time to leave your kids to go off and have an absolute, you know what I mean? An absolute.
Yeah, Steve is leaving the kid for 4 weeks. He's going to Vegas.
But sure, I really don't care because I'm not surprised with that because he's going out to Vegas with his ex-partner because, as you said, he can't find a boyfriend to go.
Yeah.
But
do you think 4 weeks is too long, Angela?
Oh, shots fired.
But anyway, as I said, like,
Angela, do you think 4 weeks is too long?
But I just,
it's almost like she's not hearing him.
No, almost like she's just being rude. In that case, if she can't hear me, then I'll speak over her. Therefore, she will have no choice but to acknowledge me with her silence.
2 weeks is too long, Niall. It's too long.
2 weeks is too long, Niall.
A week with the kids, and why not do a week with yourself?
Here's the thing.
I see. No, hang on. We seem to be having a slight technical difficulty with the equipment at the moment because Angela can't hear Steve.
No. Selective bleeding here. That's what that is, Niall.
Sorry, Angela. What did you say?
Can't hear who?
Very mature of you, Angela. Very mature. Maybe it's the case. No, being serious for a second. Maybe it's the case, Niall. Don't let her talk over me. I was talking first.
She's not talking over you. She can't hear you.
Niall, can you tell Angela to please be quiet?
Angela, the caller on the other line wants to know, can he speak for a second?
Jesus. Yeah, no, Daddy's talking.
I give him permission.
So
yes, I give him
here's
permission.
The thing, Niall.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I am not saying this to be rude, but maybe because Angela hasn't got kids.
You are being rude.
That kind of...
She has nieces, she has nephews, she was somebody's child.
How do you know what I'm going to say?
I'm just
saying.
saying.
You know what I'm going to say?
No, you can't.
Okay,
you can't do that thing. Don't do that thing.
Finish my sentence.
Okay, go on.
Go ahead.
Go. I'm just saying, don't do the thing.
Maybe because Angela doesn't have kids and she really would like to have kids, that she's thinking she would love to spend more time with them. But take it from people like myself and Dave who are around the morning, noon and night.
Don't lump me in with that last statement. You're on your fucking own there, kid.
Actually, Angela, Steve and Dave, please stay with me. Sorry, Angela and Dave and the other caller. Please stay with me. Let me just go to Albert as well, Albert, because Albert only has a couple of minutes on his break here. Albert, hi.
Hi, Niall. How are things?
Good. How are you doing, Albert?
Yeah.
Don't mention Steve's name. Angela gets weird about it.
Won't mention anybody.
I'm not bleeding Voldemort.
Go on, Albert.
Look, I've been on holidays with the kids and without the kids. With the kids, it has been, it's been good, but you're just constantly looking after them. You're watching them at the pool. You're watching them when they're wandering around. I said, I think with 3 kids. I mean, I had 3 kids. You just couldn't follow them. And inevitably, one of you fall asleep on the sun lounger, so it's left to the other one to do all the chasing around. Coming back from the holiday, you're coming back and you're looking for
a week off.
A bloody rest.
Yeah, I know it can be hard. I know.
Went on the holiday without them and had a great time. And towards the end of the holiday, missed them, couldn't wait to get back. But to be honest, if I got a chance of going away without the kids, I'd grab it.
See, Angela?
Well, what I'm looking at with that is, why don't you do a week away with yourselves and take a week off with the kids?
Be expensive.
This is the way I look at it.
It's expensive to do that, Angela. You know, most people are lucky to get away once. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying you, Albert, and I'm not saying Dave, right? That
thanks, Angela.
They just,
thanks, Angela.
It just sounds like they just want to totally go off on the piss, have a hoolie. You have a family for a reason. And
well, there's no harm in going off and going on the piss and having a hoolie if that's what you want to do.
There is absolutely no harm in it. But it just
but you can't do that with the kids. You can't do that with the kids because if you go on holidays, you don't want another Madeleine McCann happening. You can't be going, put the kids to bed and you're down in the bloody, bar having a drink.
Totally
so you have to watch them.
Yeah, you do. But the thing is, that isn't that what you take on when you have kids? Believe me, I think I heard somebody saying something there that I'm jealous because I don't have kids. I'm having an absolute ball.
She can hear me. She can hear me.
I'm 50 this year. I got a text message there that somebody said something like that. But I'm 50 this year. I'm having a bloody ball. I'm going
how many people have the same opportunity where they've got the kids for 52 weeks of the year. So maybe for 2 weeks they can have 2 weeks to themselves and enjoy it. If they're in a work environment and they're stressed out, kids are a huge stress as well. Okay, they can be lovely as well, but you just need time for yourself. That's it.
But that's fine having time to yourself. But my whole thing is, do you not think it's a bit selfish that mum and dad are going off to the sun, having an absolute ball, and leaving the kids here in Ireland?
They're not leaving the kids with Joseph Fritzl, for fuck's sake.
It's not, because the kids will have 2 to 3 months summer holidays anyway. You've only got your 2, so you've got to make the most of it.
No, you don't only get 2 weeks holiday a year.
Yeah, but it would be expensive. This couple, they're obviously strapped for cash. It would be expensive, Angela, to go away twice, once with the kids and once without. So they might only have one opportunity to go away for the 2 weeks, because you know yourself, it's as cheap to go away for 2 weeks as it is one, really. It's only a little bit extra.
No, but that's why I'm saying, why not do a week away yourselves
and then do a week at home doing stuff with the kids.
At home?
That's not well, yeah. Why
In
don't you
Ireland,
turn
in
around
the
and-
rain.
Yeah, but sure, hold on a second. If they weren't go away, they'd have to do it anyway, wouldn't they? So why don't you go camping with the kids
In
for a
County
week?
Clare or something,
That's-
yeah.
Hey, not Robin County Clare. That's where I live. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Your granny forgot a bit of sun every now and again.
Yeah, you know what it's like down here. It's beautiful, Dave.
Climate change and all that, you know.
Down to Kilkee.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you now, they're saying climate change is going to increase the temperature by 1.5 degrees. I say bring it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Here we go.
Let's burn some burn.
Niall,
As Donald Trump says, burn, baby, burn.
I have kept quiet for a while, so let's say there is another person on there. We'll call her Smangela, right? So I will direct my conversation towards this fictional Smangela. So, Smangela, darling, I have a child. Hard enough to believe that Dave has a child. So, has children.
Niall is.
I swear to God, that's just rude. Niall, what's the point in bringing on someone like her? She's just going to do that. She's being a moron.
I think it's funny. Come on.
Well, I tell you what.
Okay, will you just go on and tell your story about Smangela?
No, I'm going to go off topic here. I'm going to do what she's doing because
What? The two isn't going to pretend you can't hear each other. That's kind of pointless.
We're allowed to be rude, apparently, so that's what I'm going to do.
No, will you just tell your story about Smangela and then I let the other caller tell her story about Peeve. Go on.
No, I don't. Well, Smangela is a rude cow.
Christ.
Angela.
You all right there, Dave?
I'm just waiting for the I know you are, but what am I to start flying?
Angela, okay, hang on a second. Angela, just getting back to your idea, of going away. I mean, my idea of hell, I'm sorry, by the way, to the Tourist Board of Ireland, is going anywhere in Ireland for more than 2 days. Really, that's my idea of hell.
That's bullshit now. Because
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't deal with the weather. It's not the places, by the way, or the people. Hang on, no, I want to be fair. The places are beautiful. The people are beautiful. It's the weather. I cannot deal with cold weather.
You know what? Like for a man who gives out as much as you do, you're an awful sensitive creature. Do you know that?
Yeah, no, I can't deal with cold weather. I can't function in cold weather.
For the guy who complains about snowflakes, I can't holiday in Ireland because it's too cold.
It is.
Go climb a mountain in the rain, you fucking Jesse.
Niall loves to go to Orlando and Disneyland for his holiday.
I don't really go to Disneyland, to be honest with you. I mean, that's for, when your kids are younger. Disneyland is
full
more,
of kids.
yeah. Universal Studios is great, but I wouldn't really go to Disney. Not only when the kids were younger, they kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say,
you do like your heat.
Yeah, but I can't function in the cold. I find it. I would be miserable if I'm walking around. Sorry to the people of County Clare. Sorry to the people of Cork or Limerick or everywhere else in Ireland. But if I'm walking around in these beautiful landscapes that we have here in this country, because it is a beautiful country, right? There's no doubt about that. And the people generally are wonderful too. But if I'm out in a hotel and I'm walking around, I'm miserably unhappy because it's just cold most of the time. Or it's raining. We've like 365 different types of rain. It's just usually miserable. So that just does my head in.
It wouldn't be like you to give out now, would it, Niall?
No, that's why at least you go away. You're guaranteed the sunshine. Sorry, what? Peeve?
No, I think Smangela is missing she's missing the point
Who's
completely. So, you know who Smangela is. She's missing the point completely. At the end of the day, when you have a child for 365 days of the year, you are responsible for that child no matter what. And you put your heart and soul into that kid and you give them the best.
Hello?
And they can be very difficult to deal with. And when they're difficult to deal with, we all deserve a break away. It is very simple. So if, Smangela, go adopt the kid and figure it out.
God.
Is anyone there?
Yes. Sorry, I'm still here, Angela. I know.
Sorry. Things just went blank there for a minute.
Yeah, Angela. Okay, Angela. Look, I'm certainly not meaning to be disrespectful. And have you ever gone away with your nieces or nephews?
Yes.
And look, to be fair to the other caller, Peeve.
Smeeve.
it's not. Sometimes you'll need a holiday after being away with kids. You know what I mean? It can be difficult. They can be tough. They're hard work. You're watching them by the pool.
I do
you know what I mean?
understand that. I know.
Okay, maybe you could direct the conversation to Peeve. He's actually not Steve. It's Steve's brother, Peeve. He's a nicer guy.
See, the thing is, right? So 5 days a week, I mind kids. It's not the same, no, right? It's not the same. But I do mind kids. I've been doing it for over 15 years. So I know what it's like to have a child for 8 hours of the day, 9 hours of the day, 10 hours of the day.
To look after children.
I do know.
24 hours.
Children, right? And, but when you look at that then with parents who work, okay, they're not with those kids 24 hours of the day, right? So if you're in a job, you're not with your child all day. So basically, it's either if you work in the evenings, you're with the child in the morning. If you work in the day, you're with the child for a couple of hours in the evening and the weekend. So what I'm getting from, assholes here is the fact that they don't work. They spend 24 hours, 365 days of the year with their child, which is total fucking bullshit.
Can I just point out to her royal rudeness there that I work in the evening times, and in the evening times, my child is asleep in bed where he's supposed to be. So I kind of have the hard shift, which is the one where I take care of him during the day, Monday to Sunday, 300. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
One child,
Angela.
Steve. One child, Steve.
Okay. Here's the thing. Yes, it is. What would you know? What would you know?
Steve is okay. Hang on. She's just told you she's a childminder, so she looks after kids. She's well aware of it. All right.
She looks after
move on with the point.
That's
kids,
why I said it from the start. That
somebody else's kids. You look after.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's somebody else's kids. She still knows what it's like to look after children.
Hold on a bleeding second. Typical.
No wonder she doesn't want to talk to you.
Typical for all of us to be having. Don't bother your Niall. Typical for all of us to be having a laugh, and that rude bitch.
No. That's it. I won't deal. I'm not dealing with that. Steve.
I was having a laugh.
Yeah.
I was having a laugh.
Yeah. Steve.
I wasn't giving out.
Give it up, Steve.
I was totally.
No, hold on, Niall.
No. I'm not going to deal with name calling.
Calm down, right? Will you not? Right? Will you not, Niall? I will calm down on one condition: that you stop for 2 seconds, and so does Angela. How would you feel? Let's all feel
what they call it, the shikra coming in here and just calming the.
Calming
the mood
right,
down.
Niall. Okay, now I'm talking. Okay. I'm talking. How would you feel if I came on air, and it wasn't Angela, I was talking to another woman, and I said something along the lines of, see that small-titted cow down getting ridden in the bushes by some lad? What would you say if I brought this person's child into it? You tell me to shut the fuck up.
No, I would. No, I have no understanding of what you actually meant there, by the way.
Last week.
Dave, do you actually know what he's talking about?
You allowed her to do that.
You're not, but you stop going over old ground. It's actually embarrassing, Steve, at this stage. Oh, he's gone. Good enough for him. Sorry, Dave.
No, as I said, can I just say?
I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone.
I was very calm today because I was not.
Can I just say, Angela, I thought that was hilariously funny.
I did think
that's the best laugh I've had in at least 2 weeks. That was fucking hilarious. Genuinely. That was great crack.
I don't want to engage with him because he riles me up, and I said, when I heard that Steve was on, I said, keep it calm today, just ignore him, and that's what I did. And I am so proud of myself today.
Well, listen, thank you very much indeed, Angela. And thank you very much indeed, Dave. I appreciate both of you coming on the air today. Thank you very much.
Love you, Dave. Love you, John.
Love you too. Have a good one, lad.
Hang on. Actually, hang on. I forgot there. Billy was coming on there. I didn't even see Billy's name popping up on the screen there. I do apologise. Okay. I'll just stay with me for a second, Dave. I know you have kids to look after and you need to go back to them there.
I'm actually at work, so these are my days off.
Oh, well, you're still with a bunch of kids. Your workmates. Well, hang on. Billy, hi. How you, Billy?
Are Smangela and Smee gone?
No, Smangela's still here.
No, I'm here, dude.
All right, man. I was just cracking myself up listening to yourselves, and Shmi, have your sparring match there. I think that's the highlight of my day. Lunchtime wouldn't be the same without you.
Yeah, Steve couldn't deal with it this time. Steve just couldn't deal with it.
I think if you're setting your own podcast network now, the Smangelin Shmi Bauer should be one. I think it would be a ratings winner. Absolutely, you just need someone to police the two of them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Go on, baby.
Niall, I wrote in and my thoughts on this are this woman is delusional.
Right.
I think not you, Smangela, not you, but
no, I know.
She sent in the message, and she's the man has gone out. He has taken time. He's listened to his wife. He's listened to the fact that she's not happy with the weather. He's listened to the fact that he's stressed, or she's stressed, and he said to himself, you know what I'll do? I get my wife a holiday. We'll go away for 2 weeks. And not only that, he's gone to his mother and his sister, and he said to them, would you mind looking after the three kids for 2 weeks so myself and the wife can get some time away? And this just goes to show that some women are never bloody happy.
Yeah.
The man puts all the planning in, pays.
Couldn't agree with you more, actually. I'm now thinking about this. I couldn't agree with you more, yeah.
Gets everything arranged, and he comes in and he's like, sweetheart, I've booked
Look
a
what
holiday.
I've done.
2 weeks,
Whoa!
just the two of us.
Yeah.
Just the two of us in the sun for 2 weeks.
Yeah, bring the toys.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And he sits and she eats the head off him, and she doesn't talk to him for how many days?
Well, I think it's 2 days since she sent the message, so yeah.
2 days. So I'd say we're going on. She has to think about it for about 2 days before sending a message. So this is probably going on the bones of a week.
And then she's given out about his mother. She said she contacted the mother to confirm it, and she said, yeah, and she said, I think it's right for you to get away. And she says, like mother, like son, I guess.
Well, the mother's obviously there going, the poor woman is stressed. But the mother's, sorry, answer this 1 second. His mother's probably saying, Jesus, my poor daughter-in-law is stressed. She's dealing with the kids. She's not having a good time. I'll do a nice thing and I'll give her 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And now the mother-in-law is being criticised. Like, the mother-in-law can't win. The husband can't win. This woman just, I don't think she can be pleased.
Yeah, okay, Smangela, sorry, you wanted to say something there.
Do you know what? When you said that part, right?
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, I'm separated and divorced. Shock horror.
Yeah.
And Jesus, my husband never even ordered a fucking Chinese to surprise me. Now, and I had a wonderful marriage, and I did.
How could you have a wonderful marriage if he'd never even surprised you with a Chinese? Never mind a holiday.
Me with a bloody Chinese or a McDonald's or something.
Oh, hang on for a second, because I have to go to Carl here. He's on his lunch break. He's got 2 minutes. Billy, stay there for a second. Sorry, Carl, hi.
How are you, Niall? How are you doing?
Good. I know you're in a bit of a hurry there, but what do you reckon? Is Billy right? Is she being ungrateful?
No, I think leaving a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old at home is on their own, or being looked after by someone else is wrong. Look, he's only looking for his rock and roll. He's only looking for his rock and roll. Right?
You have a very bad estimation of men.
Listen, no, he's not going to get 2 weeks of his rock and roll. He might get 2 nights out of 2 weeks if he's lucky. You know, if he says the right things. Well, let him go away for the weekend and then let him bring the kids down to Centre Parks. That way then everyone's pleased.
It's like a walking ad for Centre Parks here today. But hang on, what's wrong with what he did? Billy is saying she said she wanted a holiday. They clearly can't afford a holiday. They haven't been on holiday in 3 years. They can't afford a holiday for 5 people. But he could he said, muster up some money to get a holiday for 2. He's done that, run out, came back all excited, what his wife wanted, and now she's not talking to him. She said he's selfish.
You know what, Niall? I'd go on my own. I'd bring her back a stick of rock. I'd say, here, I'll bring you back a stick of rock. I'm going on my own. I'll let you know how it works out.
But is there anything wrong with leaving the 3 kids with your mum for 2 weeks?
Pardon?
You think there's something wrong with leaving the 3 kids there for 2 weeks?
I think a 2-year-old, yeah. I mean, that's the bonding age for the mother and child, yeah. 2-year-old. But the 7-year-old and the 12-year-old, so look, leave them at home and let the dogs look after them. For fuck's sake. You know, don't.
From one extreme to another.
I know, yeah.
We stopped bringing our kids away when they were 16. You know,
but that's kind of normal, isn't it?
Up to the age of 16, no, bring your kids with you. You know, enjoy the family time. They're only young for a short amount of time, and then when they start getting into 18, 19, they don't want to be with you anyway.
No.
Even 15, 16, they don't want to be with you. So when they're that age, bring them with you and enjoy it while you can.
But
you know what the thing is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say something there? Like, I know that when we used to go away, right, we used to go camping in France for 3 weeks and then we started going to Spain, right? And the funny thing is, as you say, when you get that bit older, like my mum would say, right, we arrive at the hotel in Spain or at the campsite, we go down to the pool. Within about half an hour, there's about 14 kids all hanging around with each other. You'd see them in the morning to get money. You see them at lunch to get money. And you see them at night time to get money. That's it.
Yeah, but they don't do that anymore. Nobody. Who does that now? Nowadays, people think it's not safe to do that anymore.
No. I'm talking when we're older. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
So,
well, we used to bring our kids on a cruise over to the Caribbean, and they had different clubs for different ages.
Look at him with his cruises in the Caribbean.
Yeah, but listen,
good job.
Horses used to nag at me to bring her out, you know. However, look, we used to bring the kids when they were younger, and the 7-year-old and the 8-year-old would go to their age group, and then
a cruise. Sorry, Carl, for interrupting you there, but and I don't want to go off the topic, but a cruise is not for like older people like Billy.
No. Oh my God.
Cruises are for everybody, you know. Jesus.
Billy, have you ever been on a cruise?
I haven't been on a cruise, Niall, and I don't know how old you think I am. I've been volunteered to go for one.
I'd love to go on one.
All right, Billy, I'll give you a bit. Billy, I'm going to give you a bit of advice. If you go on a cruise and you see a pineapple on the door, don't knock on that door.
Why?
They're swingers.
Pineapple on the door?
Yeah, the swingers stick pineapples on the door, which means they're
I'm kind of curious
and they're
about
open
the
for
story
everything.
about how you figure that one out.
Yeah, they're a bit fruity, are they? Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true.
How do you know? How do you know, Angela?
Where I go on holidays,
Angela knows. Angela doesn't.
Yes, Angela packs a pineapple sticker in her bag. Well, sorry.
If there is a pineapple outside the door, it means they're swingers. That's houses. That's everything over in the States. Pineapples are the swingers.
Never heard of that before. So you put a pineapple outside your, even if you're in a hotel room, like put a pineapple outside the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Niall, try it. Try it and see.
I will not put a pineapple outside the door.
Just for the crack it and let us know how you get on.
What, me and Karen, like, stick a pineapple outside the door until another couple wander in the room and get the hell out.
Orlando. Stick a pineapple outside there. It's great fun, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, on a serious note, Billy, Karen is saying, you know, no, you shouldn't be going away, you know, without the kids. Once up to the age of 16, you should be bringing them with you.
Look, it's a financial thing here, Niall. Your man has obviously said can't afford to bring the whole family. The wife clearly needs a break. I'm going to do something nice. It's not as if he flipping went and booked the thing out of malice or anything like that to exclude the kids. He's doing it because he was trying to do the right thing and keep the wife happy.
Carl thinks it's because he wants his rock and roll for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, if that happens when they're away, that happens when they're away, and there might be a fourth kid that comes out of that, so he definitely won't be able to afford a holiday in the future.
Rock and roll pineapple.
I mean, the child could turn around and say, I went on holidays with me daddy, but came home with me mommy.
Thank you, Carl, for that. Appreciate it. Let me go to Lorenzo. Lorenzo, hi, how are you?
Bye.
All good. How are you, Niall?
I'm good, Lorenzo. So, Lorenzo, is it really selfish to go away in Holliers without your kids?
No, I'd say it wouldn't be like, why? I mean, we did last year, and I mean, I think that we have to. I mean, there is like always a couple and the family as well. So I think that.
And how long did you go away? How long did you go away for last year?
Basically a month.
A month
roughly.
Without the kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How many kids have you got?
So basically, what happened is that we went back in Italy and we literally dropped our son with the grandparents, and we came back. And then they, basically my mother and my mother-in-law, they came by in the second week of July and brought him back. So we basically had nearly 5 weeks, just me and my wife.
And where did you go for the 5 weeks?
No, we stayed here. We went in Northern Ireland. We went in Galway. We went in Donegal.
But you not stayed in Italy. The weather is nicer in Italy.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Would you not have just stayed in Italy for the 5 weeks? It would be nicer, I think. Maybe, well, not doing Ireland, I'm doing Ireland a disservice by saying that.
Well, the problem would be the holidays at work.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have my holidays.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. So there's no, as far as you're concerned, there's nothing selfish about it.
No, I don't think so.
There you go,
because,
Smangela.
If there is no couple, there is no family, I think.
Yeah, see,
I mean,
there you go.
isn't
That's
that
it. That's a
what you
good line. I like that line. There's no couple, there's no
Isn't
family.
that what you were saying yesterday?
No,
Niall, with
it's
that,
true. I mean,
with
when there is a family, there is you as individuals, the couple, so you and your partner, and the family.
Yeah.
And all three has balance. So you wouldn't expect someone to drop any type of interest or his life for the family, because then he'll be unhappy. The same can be applied to the couple. If the couple is unhappy, the family is unhappy. So if you can, I think it wouldn't be that selfish to say, look, I want to do a holiday, just you and me, to refresh ourselves, rebuild, be happy.
Have you noticed, by the way, it's the lads are all saying don't bring the kids, and it's the Smangelas of this world and the women who are saying bring the kids. Sorry, Billy, what are you saying I said yesterday?
I was saying yesterday, Niall, you were making a claim, or sorry, you were making a call for what was the basis of the family, and the couple is really the basis of the family. Without the couple, there's no kids, and if the relationship between the couple breaks down,
that's the end of the
kids
family.
Are going to be either the kids won't be living with daddy, or they mightn't see mommy the whole time. So
Yeah.
if
Good points, man.
If the couple needs to take 2 weeks out for the relationship, then I think it's worthwhile doing.
Angela, I mean, the fact that Lorenzo went away for a month, 5 weeks actually, without the kids, is that bad?
Oh, Lorenzo, I'll be on to tussle about you there.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. Oh, we've lost Angela there for some reason. Oh, I think. Well, let's go to Norman. Hang on. Norman, hi, how are you?
Hello, Niall. Grand yourself.
Good. Norman, you have this thing where you put the phone on the other side of the room. Can you go closer to it? Thanks, that'd be great. Jesus.
How's that?
Yeah, that's so much. That's obviously better. Obviously. So, Norman, is it okay to go away without your kids?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. I think eventually when the kids fly the nest, you could end up with two strangers looking at each other. What do we do now?
Yeah.
They've spent 20 years, maybe of their lives, the last 20 years or even longer, with the kids around them. And then when the kids are gone, suddenly they're looking at each other. Who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, what our kids say, when are you going away? Will you ever go away for a weekend at least?
Yeah.
They're asking us to leave.
And have you gone away recently without the kids? Well, I mean, when they were younger. I know your kids are a bit older now.
Yeah. We went away for 2 days, and that was it.
Where'd you go?
We went to Galway.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Denmark. Sorry.
No.
Usually give it a mention, you know what I mean?
I do. Okay, yeah, but the next time we'll go to Denmark on our own.
Yeah, okay. So you don't think there's anything wrong with what this husband did by going out and, kind of booking a holiday for him and the missus and organising the kids to be looked after 2 weeks?
Maybe he should have kind of checked with the missus first beforehand, a bit of communication might have been, but other than that, no. I mean, why not?
He tried to surprise her.
Yeah, he did. He did a good thing, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to make my wife would be delighted if I came back with a holiday for a week or two. She'd be like, that'd be great. The kids would be over the moon.
Yeah, to get rid of us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But as you say, absent makes the heart go fonder. So
yeah.
All
right. Okay, thanks for that, Norman. Let me go to Sarah Jane just finally. Sarah Jane, hi, how are you?
I'm grand.
Yeah.
What's the crack with all you saying now, giving out about holidays and this lovely weather we're having here in Ireland?
Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, beautiful.
Get out there now, dress for the weather and enjoy it.
Yeah, there was a flurry of snow this morning, by the way, can I just point out? I thought that was supposed to be finished 2 days ago or 3 days ago. There was a flurry of snow.
Niall, do you not get inner peace out of this lovely weather?
No, I hate it. I despise this weather.
Oh my God, you need your head tested.
I cannot function in cold weather. Billy, are you good in cold weather? Do you like cold weather? Does it bother you?
No, Niall, there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing.
Oh, all right.
That's it, thank you.
Get up in the hills, Niall. Go out and enjoy yourself.
No, couldn't.
You're alive with the sound.
This show.
And anyway, Niall, you've been north of the border so much now. You better get used to all that snow because it seems to be worse up there than it is down south.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. And I live up a mountain as well, which is another problem too. It's always the worst of the weather. And by the way, did you know that when you drive in the car from Dublin, say to Belfast or up towards Northern Ireland, right, you can actually watch the temperature drop down in the car. The temperature does go down. It's about 1.5 degrees to 2 degrees less in Northern Ireland than it is in Dublin.
Well, I tell you what, Niall, where I am in the south, I drove to Dublin the other day. It was -7 leaving, and it got up to +2 when I got to Dublin.
That's what I'm saying. It's according to go up the country, it gets warmer. Or no, it gets warmer in Dublin because, of course, Dublin is a city, and you have higher ground temperatures.
The sea,
yeah,
but where I am down in the valley, getting to -7.
Oh God! Sorry, Sarah Jane, where you're living, in County Meath, isn't it? Louth, Meath. Where are you?
No, I'm in the skits, like in Bailey-borough. Like is
middle of
the
nowhere.
second peak highest top. Like they're in a different country up there.
In Bailey-borough and places like that where
With the weather, seriously, like the weather, the sun could be shining steady.
they need some new DNA in those towns.
Yeah, you wonder why.
I always remember when I worked in Drogheda, right? There was a lot of people called Martin. And there was the other thing was that I noticed that, like, I was telling a fella one night and he was telling me he was married to his half-sister or his half-cousin or something like that. And I'm saying to myself, because you've got small populations in small towns, the gene pool must be low.
I never seen that as well, yeah.
Yeah, they need fresh.
I'm not from Drogheda. I don't live anywhere
No,
near
I know
Drogheda.
you're not.
I'm miles from Drogheda.
No, I'm not saying you are. What was
You're
it?
just saying
What are the Lonely
Edinburgh
Planets?
is
What are the Lonely
small
Planet?
town.
Was it the Lonely Planet said about Drogheda? The best thing about Drogheda is the Dublin Road. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, the best thing that came out of Drogheda was the Dublin Road. That's what it was, and the Lonely Planet. So you wouldn't go away on holidays without what? Your cats and dogs? Is that what you're saying?
That's it, 100%. I'd be heartbroken. Jesus Christ. Even on my wedding night, I couldn't wait to go home the next morning. I was right breakfast in the room, straight back to the house.
Yeah, but we all know what you're like, Sarah. You know what I mean? That's not unusual for you to say something.
Oh, no, but I like what?
I mean, have you been on a holiday, Sarah? Out of the country?
Have I?
Recently?
Recently, I could be totally honest with you. Out of the country, in the last 10 years, no. But before that, I had so many holidays that I don't think I'd actually go on another one again.
Right, and would you not, like, if your hubby come home tonight, Paul, and he says, never guess, Sarah, me and you, Florida, 2 weeks in the summer, let's go. What's your first thought? The dogs and the cats, what am I going to do? Can I bring them?
See what you're after saying there? That's exactly what he'd say to me. He'd just turn around and say, sure, what's the point? You're going to be cribbing about the dog and the cat.
Right, so you wouldn't put them into a dog hotel or a cat hotel or something for 2 weeks?
No. Do you know what? I'd actually bring them with me, like.
You can't bring them.
Why not?
Because you just can't. You can only bring your animals within the European Union. You can't bring your animals outside the European Union.
Actually, Niall, it's easier to bring your dogs outside the EU than it is within.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You can't, like, I know you have to get a passport for them, right?
Yep. You need to get your pet passport for the EU, but on ferries, it's easy enough to bring animals with you, but on flights, anything over 8 kilos is not going to be allowed to fly.
Some airlines allow pets and some don't. Yeah, I'm aware of that. On board in the cabin, so to speak. But I don't think you can bring a dog to America. Because what happens is, if you're going on a 2-week holiday to America, for example, and you bring a dog, I think even to the Canaries you can't either. You bring a dog, they have to go into quarantine.
Well, I wouldn't bring my dog, to be quite honest, because I'd be afraid to pick up something. I'd be that nervous, I'd be that freaked out. Bring my animal away, and anyway, I wouldn't bring him away. I wouldn't go away without him.
Right, so that's it. That's you done. So as long as the dogs are alive, you're not going away.
Well, it's not me done. Like, I've loads of nieces and nephews, but I'd still be worried. I couldn't think of going away for 2 weeks. A week, I might be stretching it at. I've no problem with the 3-day thing. Like, I do that regularly enough. I do go down to I call it the country. It's gas. I go down to my mate until there. And I'm happy enough because I enjoy the break. I'm sorry, but yeah.
I'm looking at my screen here, and Billy, maybe you can clarify this, or maybe you have more knowledge of this than me. Cats and dogs do not require a permit to enter the United States. They do not require a rabies vaccination either, as the UK and Ireland are rabies free. You should, however, get a health certificate from your veterinary stating that your pet is fit and healthy to travel. So can you bring a dog to America? I know you can't do it the other way around.
You can bring you can bring it the other way around. You can bring American dogs into Europe as well. They just need to be vaccinated and checked by a vet when they come into the continent, as far as I'm aware. Friends of mine have brought their dogs from the States into Germany. And yeah, it wasn't an issue bringing them in. Needed to register with a vet and make sure that the vaccinations are completely up to date. And as you said, the rabies vaccination has to be given before they leave the US. I think it's a couple of weeks before, and needs to be kind of
Yeah, I know somebody who wanted to bring a cat home from America that they'd seen in America or got in America, but they couldn't because the cat didn't have a passport, and it would have taken 4 or 5 months to apply and get a passport for the cat. So you do have to have the passport.
Oh, but you give it over. Sure, all the Ukrainians was able to get their dogs over.
That's right, yeah. 5 million quid it cost the Irish taxpayer to reunite them with their dogs and cats.
Yeah.
I think there was an exemption on that, but I wouldn't quote myself on that one.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, it's funny, really. You need a passport for a dog to come into the country, but other people can come in with no documentation, and it's not a bother. There you go. Only in Ireland, huh? Only in Ireland can an animal. Sorry, Ross. Only in Ireland can an animal come into the country, but requires a passport. But a person can.
No, the animal wouldn't be able to destroy its passport. It doesn't have opposable thumbs. So
probably. By the way, I seen a video last night that's been circulating. Sorry to go into a serious topic like immigration. And it was people coming across in a dinghy. By the way, I do have an element of empathy for people who will pay a lot of money to be, on a dinghy, and those people who've lost their lives. But these lads, there was about 20 of them on this dinghy, and I'm assuming it was coming across the channel, and they were boasting, laughing and smiling whilst tearing up their identification and throwing it in the sea. The man showed his driver's license and he broke it and then just threw it into the sea, and they were all laughing, thinking this was hilarious.
Is that against the law?
Of course it's against the law.
Oh my God.
It's against the law to enter any country without identification. That's just the laws of most countries when it comes to immigration.
So brazen like that. That's just not appropriate, is it really?
Well, the reason they'll do it is because they don't want to let the authorities know what country they've come from. Because if they come from a country where there isn't a war, or their lives are not in danger, and they're not fleeing persecution, well, then they may be refused asylum.
How does that work now?
Sorry?
They show up. How does that work if they show up to immigration or whatever the place that the Garda one National Immigration Bureau up in wherever it is in Dublin?
I pass.
They rock up there. I pass. If they rock up with no identification, and the guard says to them, "What country are you from?" Are they given fake information, or are they just refusing to engage?
No, they're given fake information.
So they're saying, "Oh, I'm from."
So there was a case in court recently, a shocking story of a man who had entered the country. Now, I don't want to cast aspersions on every immigrant, but this particular man entered the country. And within one day, in somebody's front garden, he arrived in somebody's front garden, and the woman of the house came out and asked him to leave the garden. He slashed her face with a knife. He was brought to court, and the judge, his legal team, or because obviously free legal aid, asked for bail. And the guards said, well, they objected to bail. And the judge said, where does he live? And they said, we don't know. Where is he from? We actually don't know. They weren't even too sure that the name he had given was his actual name. And the judge gave him bail. I find it just mind-blowing. And the other thing as well is that Gript, obviously, during the week, pointed out that the statement that Leo Varadkar made last week was factually incorrect. He said that everybody's criminal record is checked. Gript did an expose on it, showing that at no stage.
I read that
quite shocking.
With the different databases that are being looked at.
They never requested anyone's criminal record since 2018. That's incredible. You know what I mean? Incredible. Sorry, we got on to an we'll do that maybe another day. Billy, listen, thank you very much indeed. Sarah, thank you very much indeed. Sorry to finish off on a really sad note. Well, not a sad note, but a serious note. And it's an important note, by the way, can I point out. Don't forget, by the way, you can listen to that interview I did with Jackie Fox, sadly and tragically, about her daughter who took her own life. That is on our website. We've put it up on Twitter and Facebook as well. This podcast will be available on our website, as usual, in about half an hour or so, maybe an hour. A lot of people ask me, by the way, why do you remove it from Twitter and Facebook? The reason we do that is to get you to go to the website. because obviously we want to drive the traffic to our website and not just on Twitter. And obviously the video, by the way, is available on our website, but through subscription only. You can listen to the audio for free. It goes up on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and all the usual places that you get your podcasts, as well as our website, niallboylan.com. I need to ask you, obviously, again, because it's really important. And I know January is a tough month, and obviously it's a tough month for us too, because, we don't get as many people that would subscribe to us or donate to us. But it's really important that we rely completely on your subscriptions and donations. As you can see, we don't have advertising. You can see no advertising. There's no ads around me anywhere here. So we rely, at this moment in time, we're relying strictly on your subscriptions on the website, $5.99 plus tax a month, which basically is for the three of us to get a pint of beer. We don't get paid for the show. So the bills that are the money that we do get through subscriptions, and thank you to everybody who's subscribed. It's not enough, obviously, but it pays the bills just about covers the bills, because this is an expensive thing to do every single day. But we don't get paid for doing it. And it doesn't cover the opportunities for us to make things better, because we want to make things better. So please, if you can, I know it's a tough month. January is always tough, but think about it if you can. Either subscribe, or if you want to do a one-off donation, €5 to 5 million, you can do that on the website. Just click the donate button on the website, niallboylan.com, or if you want to subscribe, just click subscribe on the website, and as I said, it's $5.99 plus tax per month if you want to subscribe, and we would really, really appreciate it. Please do it now if you can, because it really helps us to continue to do this, because we're not sponsored by anybody. We don't make a huge amount of money. All we make is enough just to cover the costs. So thank you very much indeed to everybody who's subscribed and everybody who has donated. Don't forget, every single day we pick one person, by the way, out of those subscriptions and donations, and we send them one of our podcast mugs. There's a picture of them on the screen. And there it is there. Well, it's beside, hold on. Here it is there in real life. Okay, and as you can see on the back of it there, it has woman, adult, human, female. And the Niall Boylan podcast on the front. A lot of people want those mugs. If you have any suggestions, by the way, because obviously we change the mugs on a regular basis. If you have any suggestions as to what we should put on the mugs, let us know. All you got to do is text us or WhatsApp us at 085 122 55, or indeed you can send us a message on the website. A lot of people, by the way, have been asking over the last couple of days on WhatsApp, are we selling these? The Trumpinator bobblehead. No, they're steel, like it's really well made. No, we don't sell them. I just bought that because that's our mascot, the Trumpinator. We don't sell them. I'm sure you can buy them online. If you just Google the Trumpinator, you can buy them. They're cool, aren't they? Anyway, we'll talk to you again tomorrow at the usual time. In the meantime, please try to go to our website. Please help us to continue doing this. You can donate or you can subscribe. A little bit later on today, I'm going to be interviewing Michael Walsh, political commentator from the United States, about the American elections and what his predictions are for Donald Trump and who will be the next American president. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
The multi-award-winning Niall Boylan podcast. Listen live on Facebook, YouTube, and all the usual live stream services. To get in touch, just WhatsApp or text 085 100 2255. The Niall Boylan podcast. They told me to shut up. Available for download from all your usual platforms.